So, welcome everybody. If this is working out right, then we have Jan in the upper left of my screen. I think my screen's the one that's going to record. We have John in the lower left, Donna in the lower right. Old pals, back together. And we are going to play test the funnel aspect of Freebooters on the Frontier, which I'm calling, well, for the purposes of this, it's from funnel to freebooter is what we're going to call it. And each of you guys are going to roll up two villagers, two level 0 villagers, lowly random people from some village. And then after you roll up villagers, we're going to collaboratively create the village that you live in. We're going to play around with the whiteboard feature here on Zoom and scribble with some tools and make up a little village. And then after the village is complete, we will start the first and possibly last adventure, depending on how well your characters do. So I'm just gonna. So I wrote up these rules, and I'm just gonna go through these rules and see if they work. So you're gonna be doing 2 villagers each. Does everybody have the play sheet, the character sheets there? Okay, great. 2 up on the sheet. Everybody all set? Great. You got a pencil to write with? Awesome. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is take your D100, your percentile dice, and the very first thing we figure out is what occupation your character is going to be, and you're going to roll this twice because you have 2 characters. So roll it twice, make a little note somewhere what you've rolled, and then I will ask you and tell you what occupation you get. All right, Donna, you're set? Oh.
Sorry. Okay, 38.
Ooh.
91.
Ooh. Okay. I love that you brought your dice to the hotel.
Yeah.
Your dice on the business trip. I think that amazing foresight.
It was, yeah.
Well done. Wait, is there a special bag, a special dice pouch that you have there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I brought the full pound. I was like, should I just pick out the 10 that I need?
That's the spirit. Okay, so your first character. So on your first character sheet there in the occupation box, you're going to write your first character is an elf wanderer.
Oh, wow.
It's an elf who wandered into town from who knows where.
Wow, I've never had an elf before.
So I guess wanderer would be occupation, and under heritage you would write elf.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And then your second role was a 91, is that right?
Correct.
Your second character is a trapper.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to be making notes of this.
Good rolls.
Wow. Oh, boy.
John, Chad, what did you get?
I got a 68 and a 23.
Okay, we have the 68 is a hunter. And the 23 is a constable. Ah, very nice. Jan.
I rolled a cobbler, 22.
Oh, you already know what you rolled. Great.
Yeah, and a carpenter, 16.
Okay, carpenter and cobbler.
Mine are much more urban or home bodies, I guess.
They're much more practical. We just need a what is it, baker? What's that rhyme about the baker and the candlestick maker? Butcher, baker. Oh, we don't have any of them, so that's not going to work. Carpenter, cobbler, and constable, at least. Okay, and now for each of them, each of these occupations has a favorite ability, which means it's an ability that people in that occupation tend to be better with, and also some starting gear. So I'm going to run down. I'll tell you what your abilities are, and then tell you what your starting gear is. So Donna, your elf wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite ability is wisdom, so you can just make a little mark make a little check mark or an X next to wisdom on your ability list there.
Sure.
And under gear, you can write down staff and hooded cloak.
Got it.
Of course, that's in addition to whatever sort of regular clothing an elf wanderer would wear. And I'm not going to give you all the stats for that. We'll just deal with that when we need to. But all you need to know right now is the staff has weight 1. So
Okay.
your current weight carried is just 1. And then your trapper's favorite ability is dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
And your trapper has a knife.
Yep.
And then roll 1d4 to see what kinds of animals you trap.
3.
You have 1 snare trap, which
Okay.
you trap any number of small mammals.
Okay.
And that weighs 1. The knife doesn't weigh anything.
Great.
Okay. Moving on to John Chad. Hunter, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your hunter's favorite ability is dexterity.
Got it.
And you have a short bow,
Ooh.
which weighs 1. You have 1d4 ammo worth of arrows, so go ahead and roll a d4.
I've got 1 arrow.
Well, you've got, it's subtracted. You have 1 ammo,
That's right.
and yeah, that's more than 1 arrow, but it might run out. And a quiver. So the only thing, you're just carrying 1 weight for the bow.
Got it.
And the quiver also weighs 1 because it's considered, there's more than 1 arrow in there and whatever. So sorry, that's 2 weight total. So Jan, cobbler.
Oh, what about constable?
Oh, sorry, constable, of course. Strength is the constable's favorite ability.
Okay.
And the constable carries a short sword, which weighs 1. And a set of iron cuffs with a key.
Oh.
Yeah, fancy. That's fancy stuff. And that weighs 1 as well because they're iron.
Got it.
Jan, cobbler, favorite ability is dexterity. Did you already write all this down from the
Yep.
list? Okay. And just for people who are watching, the cobbler has a tack hammer and 1d4 pairs of footwear. How many pairs of footwear do you have?
That he's actively cobbling.
1 pair of footwear, in addition to whatever's on your own feet, I guess. You have that with you.
Is that another abstract, quantity?
You have 1 ammo worth of footwear. No, is it actual just single? It's 1 pair. It's not
I've got
1
a pair.
shoe. It's a pair.
Shoes.
Sorry.
I've got an extra pair of shoes.
That's right. You got an extra pair of shoes, just in case. And then the carpenter, for those watching at home, favorite ability is strength, and the carpenter has a hatchet and a handsaw. All right. There's some potentially interesting stuff. Okay. So in the heritage, so basically in your notes area, if you want to make note of your heritage move, all of you guys are human except for the elf wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
And humans, the move for humans is when you live to tell the tale, which means you survive the first adventure, you mark 1 ability of your choice. You don't have to write that down because we'll remember it when the time comes, but that's just a thing to think about. And when you're marking abilities, that means basically most of the times when you fail an ability roll, you get to mark that ability, and after you mark an ability 4 times, that ability will actually increase. So the more you fail, gradually, the more you'll get better at something. And humans have the ability to actually mark any ability they want when an adventure wraps up. Or in full freebooters, it's at the end of every session. And the elf. So Donna, your elf, when your elf, your move is when you move, you have perfect balance and a feather light step.
Okay.
That's something to keep in mind in any situation where balance is a question, or you need to, run across something without disturbing it. Elves are really good at that kind of
That's awesome.
thing. Okay, fun part. Now you guys are going to roll 3d6 right down the line for all of your abilities, starting with strength and going through to luck. And when you pencil these numbers in, do it start somewhat lightly, because some might get switched around and you might be erasing and adding some numbers there. So just go ahead and roll a bunch of dice. Drown us out with the sound of your dice rolling.
High dex for the cobbler.
You what?
I got a high dex for the cobbler.
Nice.
I got a high dex for my hunter, but his intelligence and wisdom are just complete trash. Just a pile of bricks.
So 6 for each, or is it 7 for each?
For each.
Ability score? Sorry.
So you roll 3 dice
Uh-huh.
and add them up for each ability score. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and then you do that 6 times or 7
So
times?
yeah, it's 7 times, because it's strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and luck. 7 times per character.
My human's so weak.
Is everybody set? I should have timed that to see how long it takes to roll up 2 characters. That would have been a smart thing to do. I guess I can go back and do that. Okay, now you are going to your favorite ability, the one that's specific to your occupation. If you want, you can now swap that with any one other ability. So, for instance, if you had a higher score in some other stat, some other ability, you might want to switch that into your favorite ability if you think it would be advantageous. It's not required at all, but it gives you that option. It sounds, John, like in your case, the hunter actually rolled a high dex, right?
Yes. Yeah. I did roll a high dex.
Yeah. So you have the ability, you have the option to swap 2 scores, but one of them has to be your favorite ability for your occupation. So you can do that for each of your characters.
Can I swap? Does that include luck?
Yes. Yep, it does.
Okay.
And after everybody's done that, the next step is to, depending on your heritage, you get a bonus of you have 2 points to add into the abilities of your choice within certain limitations of your heritage. So if you're human, actually it's everybody, you can put those points anywhere. But humans have to split them up and only put 1 point into 2 different abilities. So all those human characters get 2 points to split up amongst their abilities, and the elf has 2 points to spend on dexterity, intelligence, or charisma. And if you wanted to, you could put both points into one of those.
You said dexterity, intelligence, or charisma?
That's right.
Okay. And then the humans, the 2 points can go anywhere.
But they have to be split up. Yeah, you can't put humans can't put both those points into one ability.
Okay, and we're talking about the ability score.
Right. Yes, that's
okay.
right.
Okay.
And as a reminder, nothing can go over 18. 18 is the max. Did anybody get 18 in anything?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I got an 18 in luck.
For who?
For the hunter.
Oh, stupid, but lucky. Excellent.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Is it overkill to go to 18? If you're like, say I'm at 16 for something.
Well, the thing about 18 is that that's when your modifier bumps up to +3.
Yeah.
Which is the sort of the best, possible modifier. So what's the ability score?
Well, honestly, it's a moot point. Well, it would be wisdom. So, but I can't put it into wisdom. But
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I can add to my luck if I'm a human, though?
Yes.
Is it possible to delay this part until after I roll what my traits are?
Oh, interesting.
Would you rather I do it first?
I mean, I don't see why that would be a problem. Let's do that. Sure. If you want to delay
Sometimes I like to get a picture of who I think the person is before I add points.
Totally. I have a very linear process here, and in the course of trying to put it together, figuring out how to order things was a bit of a challenge to make sure that you can make your next choice in an informed way. But that sounds fine to me. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That option. Okay. Now, for each character, you can roll D100 twice. So just roll a D100 twice and write those numbers down in pencil somewhere. And then after you guys all roll, I will tell you what you rolled for your traits.
Two traits for each character?
Yeah. Okay, Donna, what'd you get?
Okay, so my elf got 72 and 95.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Oh no!
No, those are both virtues. I was picturing an evil elf, but those are both virtues. I was wrong. So your first one is...
Okay.
Did you say 72?
Yes.
Focused.
Oh, okay.
And what was the second number?
95.
Respectful.
I mean, that could be pretty evil.
You mean like fake respectful?
Yeah. If you demand respect instead of earning it. No, I don't know.
And your trapper?
22.
Okay, that's inflexible.
Oh, okay. And 97.
97 is selfless.
Whoa.
Wow.
Selflessly inflexible. Got it.
On Chad.
My hunter got a 64.
That is curious.
And he got a 7.
That is a cheater.
This guy's a real asshole. You said you're recording this. Should I not swear?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is PG-13.
Hell yeah. Then my constable got a 96.
Responsible. All right.
All right. And 20.
And hedonist.
Those are contradictory.
Well, I mean, he can be responsible to other people, but still enjoy his whatever it is he enjoys.
It's like the consent constable.
So in the beginning of this game, in the funnel, you don't start off with an alignment. You just start off with 2 traits. And I think in the elf's case it was 2 virtues. In the constable's case it was a vice and a virtue. And at the end of the funnel, you have the option of adding 1 trait or subtracting 1 trait, and actually ending up with an alignment based on how you behave and how you want your character to develop.
Oh, like the combination of vice versus virtue,
right,
like determines which alignment. Oh, interesting. Cool.
So if you have just a vice and a virtue, that's neutral. And then if you take on a 3rd trait, depending on where that is, you could shift your alignment in one direction or another. Okay, Jan, what'd you get?
I have a 62 and a 63 for my cobbler.
Oh, nice. So courteous and creative.
And I have an 8 and a 42 for my carpenter.
Uh-oh. Covetous and selfish.
I was wondering if it makes any sense to roll one of those over again because they seem so similar, or...
Well, covetous is wanting things that other people have.
That's true.
And selfish is just wanting to just look out for number 1. Let's just keep it like that and see how it goes.
Okay.
Because if they do end up being too close together, that is, I would want to edit these traits to try to avoid things that overlap too much. And then, at the end of the session, you can adjust.
Yeah.
If that works for you. All right, there's your traits. And now you're going to roll twice to determine some features of your appearance, of your physical appearance. So same dice. 2 times per character. Okay, Donna, what'd you get?
Okay, so the elf got a 24 and a 59.
Okay, so 24 is feline features.
What?
So you can interpret that however you want. It could be, cat-like eyes, or there's something about the elf that reminds people of a cat, and you get to decide what that is.
Wow.
Sorry, and what was the second number?
Yes, 59.
And that is notable footwear.
Ooh, wow, okay.
Fancy elf shoes, or whatever.
Yeah.
You can think about that, and your trapper.
Yes, that would be a 25.
Fragrant.
Uh-oh.
Spending some time in the woods.
And 54.
Notable face shape. John, for the hunter, what do you got?
The hunter got a 74.
That is piercings, 1 or more.
Oh. And then 42.
Long beard or braids.
Ooh.
What are you going to go with?
Oh, I assume you mean when you say long beard or braids, it means like braided beard or just a long loose beard?
Well, it's in case you don't actually want a beard. Like if you were going to be, you could choose to have long braids instead of a beard, or you could have both, or you can have a braided beard. Yeah, it's like any combination of those things.
Well, let me roll my gender.
Well, actually, the first roll that you made, if you want, can determine your gender. So what was that first roll? 25?
Yeah, whatever hunter was.
No, sorry, the first appearance roll, the one you just made.
Oh, 74.
74. An even number is female.
Okay,
Odd
then I'll
is
have.
male, and
I'll-
doubles is ambiguous or fluid, non-binary.
Oh, what was? Say that again.
So if it's an even number, it's female. If it's odd, it's male. And if you roll doubles, it's ambiguous or fluid gender.
Got it. Yes, I'll take long braids.
Okay.
And then for my constable, I also rolled a 24. But for the sake of variety, is it okay if I roll that one again?
Sure. Yeah.
79.
Porcine features. Pig-like.
Oh, this constable dude. This hedonistic.
It could be, the first assumption is something like my nose. Actually, I have a bit of a porcine nose.
Okay. God, this poor sap.
He's like out of a Disney movie.
Could have like a big tusk sticking out.
Ooh.
Tooth.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay. Wait, did we get everything? Are we missing what's on that?
What was 6?
6. That is bow-legged. I'm sensing MVP out of our constable here. Oh, and could you tell me? So the hunter had long braids, and what was the other appearance thing?
Piercings.
Piercings, right? Okay. And then I forgot to write down the hunter and the constable's traits. What are the hunter's traits?
The traits for the hunter was curious and a cheater. And the pig-featured constable is responsible, but also a hedonist.
Okay. Great. Okay, Jan, what'd you get?
I got a 61 and a 51 for the cobbler.
So missing teeth and notable hair or facial hair.
Notable hair or facial hair.
Yeah.
I think if I don't know, if I went with a beard, you might not see their teeth very much. But
Could be a goatee or lamb chop sideburns or some other facial hair if you wanted to have a more, or maybe the missing teeth only show up when you get a grin out of this character.
Right. And the first roll determines the gender.
Yeah, you can either just choose the gender or allow the dice to choose. Yeah. And odd. Those were odd rolls, right? And
that was an odd, yeah.
That would
be male.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with some kind of notable facial hair. I have to think about what that looks like exactly.
Yep.
And the carpenter is a 24.
Which is feline features.
Feline. Okay. And an 84.
Which is scarred.
All right. Cool. We've got a lot of animals in this party.
Yeah.
Pig, cat. Do you have feline features too, Donna?
I do, my elf.
All right. What were your other ones?
Oh, my other ones is I had a notable footwear for my elf, and then my trapper had a fragrance and a notable face shape.
So, do you think the fragrance is like stinky bad or stinky good?
It implies bad, but I guess we'll see. Maybe just very sweaty.
Okay, great. So now you're going to set your ability modifiers. If you look at the character sheet there, sort of down in the middle, there's a little modifier table. So in the modifier circle to the right of each ability, you're going to write the modifier indicated on that table by that ability score. So do that for both of your characters.
Also, did that help you decide how to distribute those extra 2 points, Jan?
Sort of. I'm figuring that out, yeah.
Okay, and now you're going to roll hit points. Does anybody happen to have a Constitution modifier that's not 0?
5 plus 1.
You got +1. So you're going to roll 1d4 and add your Constitution modifier to the hit point roll.
Okay. Oh, it's not very much, is it? Nice.
Now, you can also, because this is a die roll, you can burn a point of luck to increase your hit points by 1 here at the beginning of the game. If you wanted to do that. And if you do that, you just write, you keep your max luck level, but in the box next to it, the current box, you just write the number 1 less than your current luck.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
But you can't ever earn more luck over the course.
Your luck will, I mean, short of like magic or divine intervention, your maximum luck will not increase.
Right.
But you can restore it every time you level up. You can regain 1 point of luck.
Wow.
Unless
Oh.
the thief has some abilities that lets him increase that, but you only regain luck very slowly.
Right. Yeah.
My hunter rolled 1 hit point.
Nice. He's a very careful hunter.
Yeah. Whereas my hedonist has 5. He's so durable.
Oh, does he have a con modifier?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I rolled a 4 plus 1.
Great. Okay. The next step is to determine. Yeah. Sorry, Jan.
I would recommend burning luck if you have luck to burn, since our hit points are so low.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn 1 for the hunter to bring it up to a whopping 2.
Yeah, I'm burning luck for both of my guys. My elf is got
Maximize your
6.
chances.
Yeah.
The elf has got what?
6 hit points.
Oh, wow. 4 plus 1 for the con. Wow, that elf.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. It's so much, so much better abilities than the trapper.
Okay, and now you're going to determine your capacity. So in the, which is how much you can carry, in the lower left corner of your play cards is the capacity, and everybody starts with the same calculation, which is your strength modifier. It's the number. It's 4 plus your strength modifier, and that's the amount of weight units you can carry before you would suffer a penalty for being overburdened. And right now, I think everybody is well within capacity. And then you're each going to roll a random item, and that's a D100 roll. Each character.
What's 00?
It counts as 100.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's really funny until it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and he comes up and starts doing it to my face. Let me out. What? What do you want? Okay. Elf Wanderer, what'd you roll?
20.
The Elf Wanderer has candles.
Ooh.
Those have 5 uses. So you can draw 5 little circles next to that, and then you mark those off. They're small enough where they don't weigh anything, and each one has a duration of 3. We don't have to worry about that now, but when you do light a candle, it'll have a duration of 3. And our trapper?
14.
Our trapper has a bedroll
Nice.
for sleeping in
Smart.
the woods. A stinky, fragrant bedroll. And that weighs
Oh.
1. That has a weight of 1.
Okay.
Hunter.
100.
The hunter has a wooden mask. What is up with that?
Is that weight 0, weight 1?
It's weight 0, yeah.
Okay. And then the constable rolled 50.
Oh, what delights is our constable? Oh, the constable has a leather apron. It's from all that cooking, or maybe he does. Maybe he has a side job as a blacksmith. It is a village after all. Okay, and Jan.
I got a 15.
Which is a bindle of rations.
And should I roll that?
Yep, that's a D4 to see how many.
2.
Okay.
And I got a 91.
The carpenter has a strange egg.
A strange egg.
Yeah.
For 91. I was looking at this chart under mine 91. It says trophy souvenir. Did you change it?
Yeah, I did. You're looking at the villager list?
Random villager item.
Yeah, trophy souvenir. I wonder if I miss. Yeah, let's just stick with this list for now. I'll double check to see if I got my lists mixed up. But
I like a strange egg.
Yeah, that's so rad.
Okay.
On this list under leather apron, it actually says worn, 1 armor, 1 weight.
Oh, great. Please record that.
Okay.
Important. That armor could be life-saving. People could be fighting over that apron. Okay. Now, we're going to name these characters. And to do that, we have to decide what the linguistic foundation for our world is going to be. If these guys survive and our campaign continues and they go on to be, some of them, go on to be level 1 characters, and you venture out into the world, this will help us determine aspects of the local culture. But for our purposes right now and for the creation of the village itself, we want to figure out what real world language we're going to use as kind of a foundation for all of the naming that happens. And open to any suggestions or ideas about that.
What are some fun languages? Anybody have any thoughts that are coming to their minds?
I don't know, like something Scandinavian, like
Finnish.
Yeah, why not?
Or what are some other ones like Norwegian, Swedish? Should we just go with Finnish? That'll put a particular spin on the situation. Cool. All right, here we go. Finnish names. Oh, and the elf's going to have a different linguistic basis because the elf comes from a different place. So we'll think about that. Donna, what do you think about Scottish Gaelic for elf basis?
I love it.
Okay. So we'll do Finnish for the common tongue and Scottish Gaelic for Elven tongue, or at least the particular kinds of Elven culture that our wanderer comes from. Okay, so names. So let's start with our the Finnish-based characters. The Trapper is the Trapper. What's the Trapper's gender?
Oh, so it's the first. So I rolled a 25 or 22 on my trait, or was it from my physical appearance?
It's your first appearance trait. That's right. Your first appearance roll.
Okay, so 25 meaning it's male?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
And what about the elf?
24, so
Female.
female. Oh, is this written in the name? Oh, you're going to figure out the name. Okay.
Yes. So I'll give you 3 choices for the Trapper. Isaias, which is Esaias. Panu, which is Panu. Juha or Juha. I'm not sure if in Finnish how the J is pronounced. Forgive me, Finnish. That's Juha. And that is the Trapper. Okay. Hunter. What's the Hunter's gender?
Female.
Okay. And your choices are. I'm just gonna pronounce. Wait, I gotta ask. How is a J pronounced in Finnish? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm not gonna be able to live with myself. It's pronounced like a Y. Okay. Should have known that. I think I probably did. Okay. So your name options are Jere, which is Jere. Jarkko, which is Jarkko. And Veijo, which is Veijo. Sorry, those are male names. My mistake. Those are male names.
Oh, that's okay. These are the constable.
Yeah. Okay. Those are the constable options, and then for the Hunter, it is Helena, Heleena. Taimi, Taimi. Taimi.
Got it.
And Oili, which is Oili. Cobbler.
Oh, the cobbler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the cobbler male or female or?
Oh, male.
Okay. And the carpenter gender?
Female.
Okay. So your male options are Antti, Antti. Arne, Aarne. And Kosti, Kosti.
All great options.
And the female names are Sade, which is Sade with a umlaut over the A.
Yeah.
Saturday. And then this is a good one. Paiviki, Paikki.
Say it again. P.
Paiviki.
Paidi.
You know what? I don't know why I'm here for. I'm just going to put this in the chat window, which I should have done before. What? Why won't you?
There's a chat window?
I think if I. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
See
Oh,
that? Paiviki. And there's an umlaut over the A. It's not letting me copy paste, but
yeah.
And then your last one is Miriami, which I just put up there as well.
Okay.
And then if we're gonna look, we're gonna check out our elf name here, possible elf name.
Oh, do you mind spelling the essay name again for me?
It's too late. Just make something up based on your memory. That page is, I guess. Wait, maybe I could go back and. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. It's irretrievable at this point.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
No, I made it up.
There we go. Okay. All right. So our elf, who is, I forget, is our elf female?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Scottish thing.
Your options are Halle, or Halle, or Fern, Fern, or Anna, Ana.
Okay.
So that was actually, you know what? That was just Scottish names because I couldn't find a Gaelic, but then I just found a Gaelic name generator. So I'll give you 3 more because they might be a little cooler.
Sure.
Let's see if this copy pastes easily here. Yeah, right? There you go.
I like that last one.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. It's like rice wine.
Yeah, right?
Okay. So has everybody settled on a name?
Yeah.
All right, so I would love for you each to just give us a brief description. Perhaps you've made some decisions about things like notable footwear, or you'll have an opportunity to do that. So starting, I'm going to reverse order and start with Jan. Jan, can you introduce us to the village's cobbler?
All right. The village's cobbler's name is Kosti. He's got missing teeth and notable facial hair.
Ooh, whoa.
That is some notable facial hair. That's like some facial hair.
He's courteous and creative, and very dexterous. And he's got an extra pair of shoes if anybody needs some. He's carrying it.
Like, does he carry it around his neck tied by the... Are they lace-up? No, they're probably not lace-up shoes, are they? They're probably like simple... What kind of shoes are they? Simple leather?
I don't know. It'd be a nice new pair of boots.
Okay, great. And our carpenter?
The carpenter is Taiviki, and she has no drawings as yet, but she's got feline features that are scarred, and she's very intelligent and charismatic.
Ooh, okay, great. Taiviki, okay, I gotta be writing these things down. Okay, how about our hunter?
Taimi, the hunter, has 5 piercings on each ear going up, and these long braids that go down to like waist. There's probably like at least, a baker's dozen of them. She's got a simple brown, pretty filthy tunic and kind of tight, rough material leggings. She's got sunken eyes. Her eyes are always darting around. She has a stern look. And a wooden mask, I guess, would be... These don't have to be like regular creatures. Orange. I guess The wooden mask is of some local fauna that has like a really wide head. Like
Ooh.
it's like a terrestrial long-legged deer type frame, but then its head is this kind of wide like frog type shape.
Whoa. And this is an animal that this mask is representing an actual animal that lives around here?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Yarko, the constable, he's got these like the short, gray stubble all over his face. He can't grow a proper beard. He just has this patchy, like teenage attempt at beard. The bristles on his chin are thick. He's got one like tooth that does kind of stick out. It's got like a snaggle tooth. But he's got a warm face, rosy cheeks, a nice smile. He's got, I guess if he's a constable, that means he's like an officer of the law.
So because we're starting in a village, he is the law. Like there's nobody. Maybe he deputizes someone when he needs them, but he's basically the only representative of whatever greater authority there is. He's the law.
Whatever greater authority we decide upon, a symbol of that has been, what's it called, branded into the top of his leather jacket.
I thought you were going to say his body. Okay.
No. No, and that's the only thing of a uniform that he has is that leather apron that bossed with like the symbol of whatever governing body or magistrate or serpentine prince dwells in this area.
Yeah, excellent. Love it. Tell me both their names again. I forgot to write them down.
Taimi. T-I-M-I.
Okay.
Yarko is the constable. Jarkko.
Yarko. Yarko is a perfect name for him.
Yeah.
Okay, Trapper.
Oh. So his name is Essais. I'll spell it.
Esais.
Yeah.
Essais or Isais. However you want.
Yeah, I think that's what we said. He has. He looks kind of like a grimy-ish guy. And while his fragrance is reminiscent of sort of like a mix of like body odor plus the animals that he traps, it sort of combines into something that's more familiar, a little more like comfortable or comforting than like outright repulsive.
Okay, got it.
I think for his face shape, I think he has really big, what are these? The cheek, the sort of like protruding cheek bones.
Okay.
So you definitely can see them. They almost like jut out more so than you would expect.
Got it. Prominent, wide cheekbones.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, in general, just mostly like dresses in furs, got the beard, the facial hair going on too. But he's got a warmth to him.
Great, love it.
Cool.
He's selfless. And our elf?
So I chose the Mirin, but we got to figure out how to pronounce that one before the next session.
Wherein.
Do we think it's Muirin? Okay.
That's a hard one to say, isn't it? You can pronounce it. You can tell us how you want to pronounce it, and we'll pronounce it that way.
I want to pronounce it right.
We'll have to get some Gaelic speakers on
So I think in combination with the elf quality and the feline features, they just tend to be pointy to the fact her ears tend to be larger and like pointy-ish, that they do sort of stick up more so than like, right at your side.
Okay.
And then because of the way that her hair is so perfectly groomed, she just looks very sleek.
Wow.
And then I guess her eyes sort of have like a shiny quality to them that sort of feels like she can see really well. Good like night vision. And
Like, are you gonna claim that elves from her background can see at night? You can totally try to do that.
I can, yeah. I mean, it looks like it. That's maybe that's how they evolved.
And do they have that? Does it do that reflective thing that cat's eyes do when the light? Okay, wow, cool. Okay, so to see if that's really true, you can roll to know something.
Okay, perfect.
And that is an int roll, an intelligence roll.
7.
Okay, so there's a yeah, we'll say that yes, you can see better at night than humans, but the trade-off is that bright lights will temporarily blind you. You're just particularly sensitive to changes in light.
That makes sense.
And all of that applies to all of your kind.
Okay, so sudden changes in the light.
Yeah, we're just like you'll have to. It takes you more than a moment to adjust to that.
Right. Yeah, and then actually you hadn't really, not really sure what the notable footwear would be.
Okay, you don't have to decide now. Or if it's not inspiring, you can just drop it. It doesn't have to be anything.
Yeah, let me think about it.
Okay. Great. All right. Character creation is over. Let's see what your town is like. So I'm going to take you through some steps here, and I think this works such that, let's see if I can pull up the white. Hey, there's another cat. Do people see the whiteboard?
Whoa.
I see it.
And I think, why don't you, oh good, there we go. Does everybody see everybody's faces on the right too? Does that work for you, or do you have to set it up yourself? On the right, you might be able to adjust to bring visuals in of everybody's feed.
No.
Can't do that? Okay.
I can see the stack of videos.
But John, you see the whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And can everybody draw on the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
What's the secret to drawing?
Yeah, what's the secret?
So the little toolbar at the top, there's an icon called Draw. And there's a drop down there where you choose the squiggly line. Or you could draw it, for instance, you could draw like an arrow. And Control Z will undo stuff too, so you can get rid of stuff easily.
Huh.
Oh, and it looks like the eraser, I don't have to actually erase, I just draw a line through the shape that I made.
With the eraser?
Yeah, so there's my shape, and then I don't have to go over every bit that I drew, I just drag it over one bit of the line, and the whole thing disappears.
Yeah, it's one object. You can't really, yeah. Are you guys not able to get it to work?
I don't
have a toolbar.
Huh. Why is that working for?
I think John has a tablet or a phone.
Share. Let me see here. See if I can figure this out. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, now I'm going to go down here. One participant simultaneously. Whiteboard.
Back.
Still no toolbar?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I wonder if I request the remote control of your content, then.
Donna,
Oh.
there's a thing that says you can pull down view options on mine, and you go
annotate?
down, annotate, yeah.
You're a genius.
That worked?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Hey, Jason, I can't erase the smiley face I did before you screen shared.
Ah, ah, ah.
There you go.
Ruthless.
Right, and the format key up there changes your color and your line width if you want to do that. Oh, and there's a font thing too. Okay, did not notice that. Oh, okay. Point size. Okay. So,
very cool.
Has everybody drawn a line or two to see if it works for them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Put a blank piece of paper on the table within reach of everyone. This is the map on which you'll all be collaborating to draw your home settlement. Starting with the player who controls the oldest character. Any volunteers for the oldest character?
Kosti looks pretty old, but I don't know how old elves run in these parts.
Ooh, right. Yeah, Donna, do elves live significantly longer than humans?
Yeah, duh. Well, totally.
How old is your elf?
Well, now that you mention it, she's been wandering for at least I don't know, 70 years?
Wow. I think the elf is the oldest. Okay. Did you say 70 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
70.
Elf is definitely the oldest. Okay. So we're going to take turns, starting with the elf. For the elf player, I should say. This is just player by player, not character by character. And we're
Right.
it'll go Donna, John, Jan, me. I get to participate in this part, and then we'll start over with Donna. The first thing that happens, Donna, is you decide what the predominant terrain is in the area where this settlement exists.
Okay.
Is it like coastline, wasteland, lowland, plains, wetland, woodland, highland, hills, mountains, that kind of thing? And if you don't, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you can.
If you don't want to decide, you can just roll a die to figure out what it is.
Oh, I want to roll the die.
Okay, it's a D12.
Okay. 10.
Okay, highland or hills, so a hilly, highlandy area. So that's our general terrain, and your job right now is to draw some indications somewhere on the map. Draw some hills or just some other terrain stuff that's related to highland or hills. Just wherever you want, put down a few things.
Okay. Oops.
Keeping in mind that our village itself will be roughly in the middle of this drawing.
Okay. Getting the draw tool. And do you want it to be a certain color?
I guess you can make it brown or gray, whatever you think. Yeah. There we go.
This is so cool. This is the freaking future, man.
I think that's okay.
That's perfect. That's totally perfect. Okay, John.
Yeah.
You're going to choose a spot near the middle of the map and draw a small circle. This is the primary source of potable water for the settlement. The place where people go to fill their pitchers and buckets and barrels. And decide and tell everyone whether this spot marks a well, a spring, a brook, or a river. The spot itself is just where people go to gather water, but then you're going to draw whatever it is on top of that. So if it's just a well, then you just draw a circle. But after you draw the circle, if it's a spring or a brook or a river, you're going to draw that in on top of it.
All right. I'm drawing a little circle to represent the place where water is gathered. And it is a river.
Great. So
So
the instructions for drawing a river says draw it entering the map from any edge, crossing the spot that you've chosen, and then leaving the map off of any other edge.
This is something I'm goofing. Okay, I think I was too off screen.
Oh yeah, we're testing the limits of the screen. Maybe if I draw a box.
There we go.
Okay. Whoa, all right. That's a river. Excellent. And then you may, if you wish, add any smaller tributaries if the desire strikes you. And then Jan, oh yeah, was that a little pond?
There we go.
Great. Jan, what is the primary source of food out here? Do folks gather nuts and berries, hunt for wild game, raise livestock, grow and harvest crops? They likely do all of these things, but which one overall provides the most sustenance? And you can open this up for discussion if you want, if people have ideas, and then you're going to decide where the primary source of food is located and indicated on the map. And it could be off the map, like depending on the scale you're imagining here, you could decide that there's arable land off, off in one direction, or there's a forest where all the hunting happens or whatever. So you can actually have it be on the map, or you can have it be off map as well.
Oh yeah. Well, what's the scale of this map we're looking at?
John, Chad, did you have any feelings about how big this river is?
Oh no, not in particular.
Yeah, so Jan, just go with whatever you feel, whatever scale appeals to you. We are going to need to draw like buildings and stuff eventually, so.
Okay. Well, I guess I was just looking at our list. We've got a hunter and a trapper. I was thinking maybe a forest. Well, I don't know if that counts as food. Yeah, sure, that could be the most notable source of food.
Yeah, and people can like have gardens, or maybe somebody's growing crops somewhere, but the primary source of sustenance for the village would be.
Should I draw it?
Yeah, go ahead and draw. It says, oops, draw it on the map. And if it's not actually on the map, you can just draw an arrow pointing off the map towards wherever it would be.
Okay. Here's the forest.
Nice. Great. Perfect. So that's where most of the hunting and trapping happens, off in that direction.
Cool.
Excellent. On my turn, I'm supposed to roll a die to determine whether this is a hamlet or a village. But because there's a constable here, I'm just going to say it's a village, which is bigger than a hamlet. I don't think a village would be have enough people to support an actual keeper of the law. So we're going with village size. And back to Donna. Connect to the wider world. Draw a path or road from the water source off any edge of the map. And then decide if your settlement is a total backwater or a way stop. If it's a backwater, this is the only way into the place from the wider world. If it's a way stop, you're going to draw the path leading from the water source off a different edge of the map. Does that make sense?
So by water source, we're talking about any blue line.
The specific circle that John drew at the very beginning.
Okay.
The circle in the middle of the screen there, yeah.
Okay, so just the center. And the backwater has to go, if it's a back road, sorry.
If it's a backwater, then you just draw one road or path from that water source off any edge of the map, and that's the only road that connects to the wider world. But if it's a way stop, which means it's on the way from one place to another, after drawing one road off one edge, you're going to start at the water source again and basically continue that same road off a different edge. So it would run from one side of the map to some other side of the map.
Okay, so making it have two paths makes it okay. So I think it is a way stop.
Okay. Yeah, maybe use the like gray or the pink. I guess brown would be fine too. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
And then there we go. Excellent. It's all coming together. Now you have to decide which of those two roads leads toward the regional or national capital, like towards the more populous part of this land. Would people head to the northwest there, or would they head to the east to get towards more populous area?
I think they go east.
Okay. So I'll just put a little note there. We did this point size. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Great.
Nice.
How many days would it take to get there?
For the group or just for
For like walking on foot, how long would it take somebody to get there?
Maybe 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days? Okay.
On foot. Yeah.
2 to 3 days to the capital?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys aren't
not far.
Totally in the middle of nowhere. Okay, great. John, now you're going to roll up. This is a village, and a village starts with 2 features. You're going to roll those features using first roll a D8 to determine the first feature.
An 8.
Okay, then that becomes 2 features. So now you're going to have a total of 3. But for this, okay, so I'm making a note of that, and then roll the D8 a second time.
A 6.
Okay, so the first feature is that the village is defensible. There's something about the terrain that makes it particularly easy to defend. So you get to decide what that is and draw that on the map. So maybe it's like, maybe the, I don't know, people can come up with ideas for what looking at what we have so far, maybe there'll be some ideas. So thinking about that, and then roll 1d6 and add 1 2 times. So 1d6 twice.
Add 1 to the result?
Yeah.
So that would be a 2 and a 2.
Okay, those are both idiosyncratic aspects of this village, and to determine what those are, roll a d8 for each one. So roll a d8 twice.
2.
Okay, and
1.
Okay, so there's something idiosyncratic about the food and the clothing of our village that sort of sets it apart from significantly from other villages in the local culture.
The shoes.
The shoes are, the cobbler is famous.
The notable footwear.
The notable footwear, all that notable footwear.
Oh, I get
That's why
it.
wanderers come from far and wide for the notable footwear.
Yep.
Ah, it's brilliant.
You had to come here. You heard in your 70 years of wandering.
Yeah.
About
You think you've seen it all.
And then you find Kosti the cobbler, who really knows how to put together a pair of shoes.
All the elves come finding Kosti for their pointed shoes.
Is he the source of elven slippers? Is that the?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man, I hope Kosti doesn't die, because that will be rough on the market. So is everybody cool with that? That the most one of the idiosyncratic aspects of this town is the footwear. Oh, there we go. He's holding up the shoe. Nice.
I'm into it.
And then food. What is it about the? We can also come back to this later. But if anybody has any ideas about what is special about the food here, what really makes it stand out? We've got hunting and trapping going on. But we don't have to solve that right now. John, or everybody actually, does anybody have any ideas about what makes the place particularly easy to defend?
My thought was that with all these hills, maybe like the village is on top of a hill, giving it the high ground.
Okay.
And so like you see in this crook right here next to like the left of the watering spot.
Yeah.
That like that could be a hill, and the river kind of bends around the hill.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So I can't see your pointer, but
here, let me draw it.
This area?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and draw that in there. And then what we'll do is we'll since that's quite a small area, we'll have a zoom in on that area, so we can draw the village in detail. So yeah, go ahead and draw the hill in there. Oh, did I just erase something? Did I just erase the river?
You can undo.
It's not letting me undo it.
We have it in the video, I guess. Oops.
What the?
I put it back.
Oh my god. Okay.
I can redraw the river.
Sorry.
Oh, there's a save button.
Wait, who put that face there? Please
Not
redraw
me.
the river. Okay, and I will add I clicked on the toolbar and I think it clicked through to the river.
There it is.
Thank you, John.
That's pretty good. It's pretty much what I remember.
And then
There's that scary face.
And then the hill is like right there.
Uh-huh.
Can I get rid of the scary face?
I tried and I couldn't. Good luck. Wait. There we go. Ha!
You have no power here, Gandalf.
Okay. All right, so we can zoom in there. And so, John, explain to me what that line signifies.
So that's like the crest of the hill. It's like the same angle as Donna's hill. So like,
got it.
Yeah, so it's not like a top down.
Yep. So the
that's
path,
like where it sits.
path goes up the slope of the hill.
Yeah, the river curls around the base of the hill. So they have to come. I don't know if we're big enough to have like a wall, like a formal wall. But I think just being up on the hill gives us the high ground, so we can see for far away, and we have advantage. But we have to like go down to the base of the hill to get water.
Okay, great. Excellent. I understand. All right, and this circle I've drawn, I hope we can draw on top of this easily. It's not going to cause any problems, but this circle is going to be the kind of zoom in to the top of the hill there, so we can see further detail if we need to.
Excellent.
Okay. Next up is Jan. Oh, you're going to roll up the problems that the village is facing.
Oh yeah, I love problems.
So you're going to roll just one, actually, because it's and you're going to roll a d8.
A D8.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to roll a D10, and if I get a 9 or 10, I'm going to roll it over.
Okay.
A 1.
Nothing of note. No problems in this village.
No problems.
Everything's just copacetic. Nice.
Oh.
So we don't have to draw it on the map. We got our features. Now, we're going to stick with you, Jan, because you just rolled nothing interesting. That's no fun. The next step is to decide if there is a shrine or temple in your settlement. And if so, add it to the map. So what I'll do is I'll draw the road on our circle here, coming up from the river that's cresting the hill and then going down the other side of the hill. So there's the road coming up from the river.
Okay.
Maybe I can color on that.
So am I going to draw a shrine or temple?
Yeah.
Okay. So so this is the hill right here, sort of around.
So the smack middle of this circle would be like the kind of crest or the top of the hill, and then just imagine the edge of the circle sloping down towards the ground. Yeah.
Can you see that green mark that I made?
Yep.
So that's the there's a giant old tree there. Probably the remnant of what used to be the forest before it was cut down. And in a hole, like a cavern inside of the tree is a shrine to the forest spirit. And the hunters would want to go to the shrine to ask permission to go to the forest to hunt on their way out.
Oh, love it. That's awesome.
Nice.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
One of the things we had yet to decide was idiosyncratic food, and what if, because of our loyalty to this forest spirit, in other parts of the land there are certain animals that they do eat, but in our region there are certain animals that are absolutely off limits.
Sure.
Oh, so what's notable about the food is that some of it is sort of sacred?
Yeah.
Some of the potential food, I should say, since it's not.
Yeah, the would-be food.
Is it this strange frog-headed deer creature? Is that the sacred spirit thing?
They're just so cute. I don't know how you could.
How you could do that, yeah. Well, we can think about that, but that is the other creature that has come up in discussion. Okay. Oh, I love it. So this is a tree. For now, we'll call it. Jan, if you had to name that tree in plain English, what would you name it?
The old tree.
Okay. Great. Excellent. Back to, it's my turn. Bury the dead. Discuss how your people deal with the deceased. Do they inter the bodies or burn them or something else? Whatever you do, draw the relevant site, barrows, graveyard, pyre, etc. on the map. Does anybody have any feelings about that? Do we bury the dead? Do we burn them? So I'm getting a connection to a strong connection to the forest and the natural world here. Do we take bodies out into the forest and let the forest reclaim them? Or would that feel like poisoning the forest somehow? Yeah, I'm going to have to ask the hunter, Taimi. What's Taimi's opinion? And the trapper, Taimi and Esais. You guys are the ones that spend the most time in the woods. What do you think? Did the dead get buried there or not?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I think I like that thought, but then it implies that we do have a good relationship with um, the environment around us.
If
I,
they,
I I think that like if someone was a criminal or some sort of ne'er-do-well, they wouldn't be buried there. Like
Mm.
you have to have lived like a good, respectful life.
oh, okay, so I got it. And is that the constable's call? Does the constable serve a dual role here as a lawkeeper and a like a kind of what's the word, like undertaker? What the apron's about?
I don't yeah, I don't think that he would have any quibbles with bringing people out to the forest, to their final resting place.
Okay.
I think he's a strong guy. He would haul them out there.
But also,
Also,
he's
does he make
deciding whose crime is who's doing crime, right? Like he's sort of
Yeah.
enforcing.
Yeah, if he is the law, he probably
Yeah.
is the arbiter. But if there's any sort of spiritual leader, he probably, doesn't have like the final say.
Doesn't have the what?
He doesn't have like the final say of like whose
Okay.
crimes warrant.
Okay, so you're picturing there's an authority above him that would make that call.
Yeah, there's some sort of like, spiritual authority or tender of the tree or.
Okay, great, love it. A tender of the tree is great. Okay. Okay. And when the dead get taken out there, is their burial place marked, or do they just kind of are they sort of like distributed across the landscape and nobody really, do people care about the specific places people are buried so they can go and kind of remember them, or once somebody's in the woods, do they does it not matter where their remains are actually located? I'm asking the constable just because it sounds like he's got the closest connection to that.
I don't think it's something that you visit. I think that there's like maybe a place where people go to visit past ones in general, but like you wouldn't go to a specific grave site.
Okay.
I think that he gets it like deep enough into the forest that like the beasts and forces that are at work will take care of it.
Got it. So it's almost like an offering, it sounds like.
Yeah, circle of life sort of stuff.
Okay, great, love it. Jan, as the person who put the old tree on the map there, would you say that people go to the old tree to remember loved ones, or do they go down to the edge of the forest? Like when they want to recall those who have passed, where would they go to do that? Or do they do it in their own homes?
Huh.
You can just think about it too. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was sort of picturing like a holiday, sort of like the Day of the Dead kind of a thing.
Great.
Maybe when yeah, there's some sort of a thing that people do. Maybe it's like Christmas where you bring like a tree bough into your house, or I could picture like the whole village going on like a sort of like a parade over to the forest, and yeah, leaving offerings
On a particular day. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Terrific. Okay, thank you. So that was me. Back to Donna. Donna, draw the location of the local trading post or public market. In a village, this is the place that would be more like a farmer's market with open air stalls or the equivalent. And
in Satsuma.
yeah, I can imagine it would make the most sense from like a defensive perspective to have the marketplace be on top of the hill there. But I could also imagine having it be down near the water source too, because that would be a common gathering place. So your call where you want to put that. But definitely I think it would be on that main road somewhere.
Right.
Gotta let my cat out. I'll be right back.
Great.
Okay.
I
So
just drew it right there.
is that like on
So
the downslope?
Yeah, so close to the water. Where's that? Is that along the main road?
Yeah.
This is the road, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Perfect. Okay. John, who's in charge of this village? Decide what kind of site or structure houses the governing body and draw that on the map. And in the under the draw drop down, there are squares if you want to like draw a specific shape, or you can just draw it freehand either way.
Yeah, I don't have that on the phone version. I don't have that power.
Okay. Got it. You're doing this all on your phone?
Yeah. My big fat fingers. I think that if there's a capital, that implies like, you know, some sort of tiered leadership. And so I think we have some sort of representative of the high court, or what, like some sort of bureaucratic. I think like a good contrast to like our fun naturey ways would be like just some bureaucrat, just like viceroy or doge or whatever.
But for a village this small, it would be a pretty minor, like a minor magistrate, like a, you know, somewhere between like an administrator and a judge who has to make decisions about things, right? People come with complaints, or they, you know, the judge has to, the magistrate would have to resolve issues.
Yeah, it's a judge. It's a judge from the high court, housed in the capital.
Right.
And their bungalow is pretty centrally located.
And this would be the place where people come to, like, this person would hold audience, or so maybe they live in one room, and then in the front room they deal with folk, they deal with complaints and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so as constable, Yarko serves under this person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the boss.
And that the brand on Yarko's apron, it would be the brand of the high court as a representative, or would it be of a noble house?
Yeah, well, like it's essentially the brand of the high court, but it's like the brand kind of metamorphosizes, if that's the word, like based on rank. So it's like a slight variation of the brand of the high court.
Okay.
Less perfect.
Got it. Excellent. And you can come up with a fun title for that job. It could just be magistrate or whatever, but you get to, or judge, but you can come up with a title for that.
Yeah.
Okay, starting with Jan, we're each going to add one path or road to some other place. The place that this path or road leads to can be defined or undefined so far. So starting from any existing road. So you can either draw it on the larger map, and starting from that long road that goes from the northwest to the east, add a road or path, or you could, on the zoomed in map, you can add a little road or path there. So starting with Jan will go first, and then me, and then Donna, and then John.
I want to add a bridge, but maybe that doesn't count yet. Maybe I'll do that later.
Yeah, there is room for that later, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I think that over on this side, there's a, let's see, no, wait a minute. I'm afraid I'm gonna, if I draw this, it's gonna go right through the zoom map. Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is representing the path to the forest.
Okay. So you could draw it to the edge of the zoom map if you want to, and then carry it off the, there you go. Okay, great.
Yeah. And one thought I had about this is that once upon a time, the forest came all the way up to here. And over the years, we've been cutting down the woods, and it's gotten longer and longer.
Okay, so this whole zone between the road, basically where you've drawn that red line, that whole area used to be forested.
Yeah.
And we've deforested it. So that implies all the structures around here are wood?
Yeah.
And with the exception of maybe the authorities' house is stone, or maybe it's also wood, but the primary building material sounds like it's wood.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Now my turn. I think I'm going to draw a path to, so this is the top of the hill. I guess I'm going to draw a path from the authorities. The authorities right on the main road there, right, John?
Yeah.
I'm going to draw a path from the authority to the old tree. Okay, and then Donna's turn.
I think there could be a path this way to the hill regions.
Ooh, okay. I wonder what's up there. Cool. John Chad.
Let's see, make sure it's the right one. I'm going to have a path that branches off the main path and follows the river up to this lake pond.
Okay.
Do that again.
Jan, is it okay if I redraw the red line to go behind the zoom in?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so that path hugs the river on its way up to the pond up there. Great. So that must be, if there's enough traffic there to create that path, it must be well traveled. What is it up there that people are interested in? And Donna, yeah.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
The fish that are in the river are really slight, and not good for eating. They're good for stewing and for making stock. But if you want like a real fish, you got to go up there.
Okay, great. And Donna, what about those hills? Why is the path to the hills well traveled?
I think that they're trying to branch out into like agricultural, and so they're sort of traveling out there to like start like putting like domestic maybe like goats or sheep type.
Oh, okay. So herding, using the hills for herding area?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Love it. Just like Vermont back in the day. So would you say sheep or goats or some invented creature?
I'm gonna say goats.
Okay. Okay, great. Everybody's added a road or path, right? 1, 2, yep, okay. And now you guys are going to each add the home of your character to the map. Show us where your character lives. Starting with Jan.
Let's see. I'm just drawing my home.
Yeah.
Okay.
For both of your characters. You have 2 characters.
Right. The Pivik. Oh, whoops. That was a mistake. How'd that happen?
Oh, did it zoomed in a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that was me. Hold on. Did that change it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was minimizing my screen a little bit.
Okay, here's Piviki's. This is Kosti's house. And to get there, you have to go. There's like a little trail up at the near the top of the hill that you have to get to if you want to get some really good shoes.
Cool.
And I think his shop is in the bottom, and he lives up in the top floor.
Oh, it's a 2-story. Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of ramshackle, but it is 2 stories.
Great.
He's creative, so he's got a funky little house.
And I guess that I have to ask, what kind of material are the shoes made out of? Is it goat skin? Or some animal that the trappers and hunters bring to you to use? Or a variety of different kinds of leather?
Yeah, I think he uses a bunch of different things.
Okay.
And some of the more exotic creatures make for more fancy shoes, I guess.
Great.
And do you want me to do Piviki too?
Sure, yeah, do Piviki too.
Okay. So Piviki, I think, lives on the edge of town over here, which is kind of the beginning to the trail that leads towards the woods, because she's a carpenter, and so she sometimes has to go. Part of that is that she has to go get wood. and she makes that trick.
Great. And both of them live by themselves. Does Custy have a family, or is he a solitary cobbler?
That's a good question.
Well, you can think about that if you want. Think about that. And
Okay.
I'm supposed to add something. Love for it. So I'm thinking, do you guys feel like there's is there a spiritual leader, or do people kind of freely, do they worship, sorry, not worship, do they honor the forest sort of on their own, or do they need somebody to kind of lead them in whatever rites are involved in that? Does anybody have any feelings about that? Okay, if nobody has any feelings, I will say that there is no specific spiritual leader, and that whatever this tradition is of the villagers, their relationship to the forest is one that's evolved and been around for a very long time. So people kind of independently, people know the holy days, people know that the kind of Day of the Dead, and maintain those traditions without somebody kind of overseeing that or organizing that necessarily.
I was sort of picturing some, village elders who, we're like, this is how it's done. This is the way that we do it around here, and kind of people pass on the traditions.
Okay, yeah, we'll have it be like a tradition was passed on. I don't have any NPC in mind yet who I would want to add, because we've got the magistrate. We know where he lives, or whatever we want to call him. John, did you have a title for him besides that?
I found that I combined the words in Finnish for word and giver to make Sanataja.
Great.
Sanataja.
The word giver. Great, thank you. So maybe an NPC will occur to me later, but right now I don't have anything. So we're going to move on to Donna. Will you add homes for, I guess your Wanderer doesn't have a home, because they came in from out, but the Trapper, Essais, will have a home.
Yeah.
Or maybe outside, who knows?
Yeah, I do think it is further away from the village.
Okay.
Closer to okay, so here we go. Oops. Okay, so the Trapper is gonna live closer to this area.
Okay, right near the woods there. Is it like a little hut or a campsite, or?
Yeah. I think it's a little hut.
Okay. And how about now, John? It's time for Taimi and Yarko.
I think I could see the magistrate's building. I mean, I assume that like what little government work is done here is orchestrated out of there, and so there's like the equivalent of like a drunk tank or like a holding tank, where he has like a little office and like a really miserable like cot.
Okay. How is he going to be hedonistic on his little cot?
Well, I believe that there's like no issues in the town right now, so like
right.
he's not a particularly busy guy, so he like you know, if there's no one in the drunk tank, he gets drunk.
He's got the place to himself.
So I don't know if you want to draw that on there.
Like attached.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll do that.
And then let's see. Oh wait, where's my tools? No. Undo.
Phone.
No, everything's.
Oh,
Oh,
I can-
teams.
I can delete those things.
Okay. I don't know where my tools are.
You can just talk us through it. So there, I drew a little thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Taimi, there's a like boarding house that houses like travelers, merchants, and stuff. It's near the marketplace. It's like on the other side of that great road.
Okay.
And Taimi will frequently rent a room out of there. She'll she'll do her hunting. She'll bring her whatever she catches to the marketplace, and then she'll like crash there at this kind of like catch-all boarding house.
Okay. Got it. Right near the market. Great. Okay, awesome. We got Coasties. Excellent. Okay, now so now we can fill in anything that we feel is missing that we want to add. So taking turns, starting with Jan. And in fact, at this point, we can all just start adding stuff to the map and consult or talk about stuff as we add them. So feel free to add anything that you feel like needs to be put in there. Given the fact that this is a village, it's defensible but doesn't have any, well, it could have actual defenses if you wanted to add those in there. Like a wall, but not like a stone wall, like a wooden palisade perhaps, or a wooden wall maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But you can add in other buildings, other roads or paths. Jan, you said you wanted to add a bridge, so you can figure out where you want to go.
I don't know if it makes sense, but maybe right here could be the bridge, and maybe the river could be like right here.
Okay, sure. Yep.
That's
So the
all right.
bridge and the market and the boarding house are right there at that juncture.
Yeah.
Great.
So people would come down here. They could cross the bridge to get over the river, and they would get their water and stop at the marketplace and all that.
Get their water on the upstream side of the bridge.
Yeah, they would walk up to above the marketplace. And
Great.
I'm assuming the river is flowing south.
Yeah, I assume so too. Is that right, John?
Yeah, that's what I had in mind too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome, love it. The bridge, perfect. I'm going to add, because I'm a big fan of thinking about where people walk and they're, when a village, a community is evolving. I'm going to add a path from this central area to the far side of the marketplace to make it really direct to get the water. So instead of coming all the way down and then around the market, people can just go right from the middle of the town to the water source. So that trail there will be the main way to the water. And I'm just going to start throwing in other little huts and stuff.
Do we? I know that our primary source of food is the forest, but like, are we growing any crops?
Anybody have any feelings about that?
I think people probably do. I think they, they probably grow stuff on the hills and maybe down by the river. How about south of the boarding house? There could be some fields.
That we might see on the bigger map here.
Well, yeah, they could start right here maybe. Is that too close?
No, it's great.
Yeah.
That may be the first field that, I don't know what people grow, maybe grain,
Yeah.
rye.
Oh, what's like something, because I just realized that like water transportation is probably pretty useful. Like, what could they be sending down the river?
So that raises the question, is it a big enough and slow enough river where people can go up and down it? Because it certainly could be. Then we start getting into the realm where this is which could be great. This village could one day be a town, right? If there's enough kind of different routes of interchange and trade. But that's a great question. Do you have anything in mind? Were you picturing any particular kind of water transport?
The only thing I thought of was like lumber, like whether, that forest in the upper left-hand corner, whether like wood would come down from there.
Oh.
But that is a good question about how big the river is. And it probably would have to be bigger than how I'm imagining it.
To do what it needed to do.
Yeah.
I would picture if wood was needed, it would be, unless this river goes through some difficult to traverse terrain or connects to an area that's growing and need those kinds of resources. But I was also picturing that the main road would be a route by which some lumber would, some timber would be moved.
Yeah, that tracks.
So we've got, if we're talking, so wheat, rye, barley, and oats are things that were grown in Finland. Also turnips, potato, sugar beets, those are all things.
I was just drawing a bunch of rocks. I imagine some big boulders that you kind of have to walk between up this winding path to get to Kosti's house.
Oh, great. Is he on top of is his house on a rise on top of the hill? Like, is it a separate little?
Yeah, it's like kind of like a rocky thing. Like, nobody else would really want to make their house up there because it's a little bit hard to get to and windy and stuff. But he has this house up there.
That's awesome.
Is that fair?
Nice. And I think he lives with his wife, whose name is Lomo.
Okay. Great. Do people live near the old tree or the Vanyapu? or do they live at, do people build near the tree or do they give it space? Where are we at in this village's development as far as that goes?
I imagine that there would be houses around it. I mean, I'm sure the first thing that was founded here. Well, actually, I don't know. Was the village founded and then it was brought into the, the high court protection / rule, or was the town founded by the high court? Because I think if it's the former, then there's probably a lot of houses around the tree. I could see people living here, kind of living, with this tree and this forest spirit and this belief in the force and the circle of life. And then the high court kind of comes in. It's like, hey, yo. But if the high court came here first, then maybe there wouldn't be as many houses.
Right. I like the first one a lot, like that this was a free, independent village, basically, which connects to the idea that their spiritual traditions are passed down from generation to generation. There's no like a clerical figure. There's no priest or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe the high court is going to try to impose something at some point, but I like the idea of the court coming in and saying, well, you guys are part of our land, our kingdom now.
Yeah, we've got all these trade routes. We've, got the system in place of protection, and, we're not going to mess with you in your forest spirit for now.
John, are you cleaning your phone? What are you doing?
What, me?
Yeah.
Your microphone is going.
You know what? I was actually cleaning my phone.
Yeah, it looks like it on the video.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right, no, it's okay. Is there anything else anybody wants to add? We can always add to this later as well, but we got a pretty good start here.
Do you have any thoughts, Donna?
Yeah.
No, this is good. It looks very, very exciting.
Our little scrawled digital map here.
Yeah, I love it.
I was wondering if the magistrate's office, if he would have like a little bit of a wall or like a little miniature keep or something like that around his house. I didn't quite follow the constable's dwelling, if that was attached to it or what you said, John.
There's like a tiny like office that has a single cell that's essentially used as either like a drunk tank or like a temporary holding for like a prisoner before judgment can be delivered. And there's like, a small stool and a cot, and he lives in there.
And is that attached to the Santaha's house, or?
I figured it was all in one building. For
Okay.
a village this small, I don't think the high court would like build a ton of different structures.
Yeah, and in fact, I think it makes sense that when they came in and sort of laid down the law, they built this building, right? Or it could have been a pre-existing building, I guess, but I like the idea that it's the only stone building in the whole place.
Mm.
But it could have been a building that does have historic. Maybe they moved. What do you think? Did they move in, or did they build a fresh structure?
I like the idea of building the fresh structure. Especially like I don't know. Both versions are good. It's like we're gonna take the only stone house in town. We're gonna take it for us, versus we're gonna make the only improvement we're gonna make to the town is a kick-ass structure for us. So I don't know. I could go either way.
Yeah. Does it have a wall around it? Do
Like
you
an
think?
additional wall, like a
More like a fortified fence.
I think the question there would be, the way that we rolled it up, our village doesn't have any big problems, so we're not giving the magistrate trouble as of right now. But like, right. Are there other villages under the high court's control that do give them trouble? And if that's the case, then yeah, they would probably like preemptively build their structure with a wall around it.
Or how about that when they come in and they build something, they always put the wall up, and that just doing that creates tension, right? Because they're like, we need to protect ourselves in case there's an insurrection or something. And the villagers are like, why are you building a wall?
Well, I could picture it being kind of like we need this wall to protect against possible invasions from other people.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, stirring up that sort of feeling of like, we're here to protect you, kind of like a feudal system. Whether they've ever used it or
so
not.
people can retreat into the building.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. And wooden or stone wall, you think? I'm picturing stone construction like flat stones piled up, not like serious masonry. So maybe a wooden wall.
What about a wooden wall that it's the villagers' job to maintain? Like everybody has to do their part to like fix the wall every year.
More resentment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, so I'll draw in. All right. And then there's a little gate near the road there. Okay. All right. What in plain English, what would be a good name for this place?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is Tess making fun of us?
No, she just did like the craziest sneeze in the world, and I had to like mute my microphone to talk to her about it. Sorry. A plain English name for this place?
Yeah, we've got Hill by the River. It's near the forest. Seems like forest.
Yeah, Forest Edge, by the forest, in the shadow of the forest. But something that represents like the symbiotic nature between us and the forest, like just the whole sentence hand in hand with the forest.
The whole sentence hand in hand. So I liked what you said about in the shadow is Variosa, but that implies sort of a dark quality to it. So hand in hand. So forest.
Or even just like forest friend.
Forest friend is Metsaistava. Metsaistava.
What about you have forest edge or or forest beginning?
Forest beginning is Metsan Alku. And forest edge is Metsan Reuna. What if it's just edge? Reuna.
That sounds
pretty
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Sure.
Edge. So Reuna, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, so we got about half an hour to go. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions to set up the funnel.
Oh boy.
Leading questions. So the first one is, what livestock do villagers tend in numbers? And I think we've already answered that goats is, there may be some other livestock, but it sounds like the thing that tended in numbers is goats. Would people agree with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is a question for the hedonist.
Yeah.
What alcoholic drink do the locals brew or distill in quantity?
Did we decide on what the plant was? Because I think you mentioned sugar beets as being one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this like I saw it on an episode of Chopped the other night. It was like an ingredient was like a beet brandy or like a beet, liqueur.
Ooh. Now, is that the high-end stuff? Or do people drink a lot of that? That's definitely it. That definitely it exists. But I'm wondering if it's the thing that people that is consumed in large quantities, or is there something else that sort of serves that function?
I mean, I think it is absolutely tiered. I think that if you are just making a bottom shelf batch of it, you're taking beet greens, chopping, when you chop off the top of a beet and you have a little bit of beet in the greens.
Yeah.
And you're throwing that in a pot and you're letting that ferment, so you're not getting as much sugar. It's not as alcoholic. But then and then a higher up version is the peel of a beet. When you peel the beet, you save that and you ferment that. And then the high end stuff is the whole beet.
So it's bright. It's like ruby red.
Yeah.
Or purple, and it's sweet, but it's the natural sugars of the beet that makes it sweet, right? Plus the fermentation, you need.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And then the other things. So there's different. Okay.
So yeah, it's basically it's a gradiated scale, based on the color. If it's really ruby red, and people will dye the watered down stuff, but you can never get that same color, that same high quality.
Right, but the watered down stuff is brownish, right? The beet greens would be
You're just throwing all sorts of different beet scraps and trying to ferment whatever you can.
So it goes brown to reddish brown to ruby red.
Gross.
And is the brown stuff I guess I don't know enough about brewing. Okay, so but the commonly imbibed, the most commonly drunk stuff is the brown stuff.
Yes.
What would you call? What's a term? Give me describe. Give me we've got. So we can call the top shelf stuff ruby red or red ruby or something. And what would the bottom shelf stuff be called?
Well, the translation of the word slurry is belly, VELLI.
VELLI.
Yeah.
Belly. That's the okay, great. And so we're talking that stuff can come in a cask, right? Big, enough quantity will be in a cask, and then you're working your way up to. I don't think glass bottles because that's too advanced for this world, I think, or at least this village for sure. So they'd be ceramic.
Yeah,
bottles.
clay jugs.
And you only see the ruby red when you pour it, when you pour it out into whatever decanter that you're gonna.
Maybe there's they'll put a paper seal on top of those casks or whatever to and maybe they dye that with the liquor inside.
Oh yeah. So you can just tell it's got the red cap on it.
Reportedly, you dye it with the stuff on the inside.
Yeah. And maybe we call it red cap. Maybe red cap is the.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, the word's too long. We'll figure it out.
I love how red is this super long word, and then cap is just lepus.
Punain, then. Okay, great, love it. Okay, so this is a question for the trapper. What cave-dwelling creature has been extorting livestock, veli, the brown stuff, and other supplies from the village on a monthly basis?
Whoa.
Am I the trapper?
Yes.
So what creature?
Yeah, so it lives in a cave, and it's smart enough to basically threaten the villagers to give it stuff that it wants. It's just on its own. Doesn't have any company, so it's got to be scary enough for people to say okay, and give them the stuff. And it comes back, and the villagers are too afraid to do anything about it. And when it extorts stuff from you, it takes goats,
Wow.
whatever alcohol it can lay its hands on, or that you are able to give up, and other supplies that it might request.
Oh my God.
It can speak the common tongue.
Okay. Okay, I see. So it's like
It's smart enough to
intelligent.
talk, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not human. For some
Right.
reason, it's really scary.
Hmm.
Dwells in a cave.
Yeah. Yeah, and people can throw out
So
suggestions too. Donna's the final call.
just thinking of the name.
What
or
kind of creature is it?
oh, the kind. I think it's definitely like an uncommon one. So I'm imagining like it's a furry beast that has like kind of like appendages that make it seem like it slithers or like crawls
Like it could go on all fours, but it can also stand up.
yeah, because it's like longish.
Ooh. So it's a long body. Is
Yeah.
it bear-like, or is it more like a giant badger? I'm trying to picture.
Yeah, I mean it feels like a badger,
Okay.
but the way that it walks is more like lizardy.
And then when it comes to demand things, does it go bipedal and stand up and talk, or does it stand on all fours
Yeah.
and make demand?
Yeah. I think it does stand up, and that's part of what freaks people out.
And how big is it?
It's on the big side. I guess maybe,
Like 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall?
yeah, I would say 10.
Okay, so when it stands up, it's 10 feet tall, but it kind
I
of
mean,
does
it
a
has a big,
weird ground slither when it's on all fours.
yeah, it's got like a long furry tail too. So the whole thing is covered in like fur, and then
Okay.
yeah.
What color is the fur?
Um, just like what color? Similar to badgers. What is that, like grayish brown?
It's like black and gray and then white stripes.
Oh, really?
On this guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like all
No.
stripy. It's got like two it's got some. I mean,
Okay, not a badger. More like just dark
okay,
brown.
dark brown.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And first of all, it sounds like it must be terrifying when this thing talks
Yeah.
in its creepy voice. But what else is it? Does it have like nasty claws or nasty teeth, or what's the physically, besides the fact that it's obviously big?
Right.
What's the?
So its face is sort of it's not like, it's more of like a flat face, not like snout type. So that's partly what's weird. And the eyes are like very large and round. Yeah, and then the teeth, they're intimidating.
Okay. Has anybody around here seen this guy? Is this like a known creature, or is it like the first time anybody has seen one of these things? Like, has the trapper or the hunter occasionally seen things like this, or are they known to maybe exist elsewhere, or is this like a whole new paradigm?
I think that it's common for there to be in different areas of this land,
Okay.
for there to be different monsters that sort of demand from the villages. But for this area, this is unique.
Okay. There may be other ones out there. Maybe they have their own little plots elsewhere, but nobody. I don't know the one
Yeah.
in the area. Okay, great.
Right.
Yikes. Does it sound like this? Is it like a or like a banter voice? Is it a higher pitch?
The second one, where it was kind of like deep, growly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring me the beet drink. that kind of, okay. Got it. Okay. Jan.
Yeah.
What did this creature destroy, or who did it kill that convinced everyone that its demands must be met?
Did you say what did it destroy or who did it kill?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a brilliant idea?
Well, my first thought was the magistrate. Because the question is raised, like, if it comes back month after month. I mean, I could see that the magistrate would send for help to the capital and just nobody's responding, right? Like, because who cares about this little village?
Right.
Or it showed up and killed the magistrate, and everybody's like, okay, that was our representative from the high court, and now he's dead. But at the same time, I don't want that magistrate to die because he seems like a cool NPC.
Yeah, my first thought was like he went on a rampage in the marketplace and just like knocked everything over.
Yeah, great.
Destroyed all the stalls. Yep. Kept everybody in fear. Demanded stuff. Wouldn't leave until they brought it. That kind of thing.
Oh my god. That's so great too, because obviously if the marketplace was threatened, that threatens the livelihood of the town and people aren't going to come back, so they really want to appease it.
Yeah.
Great. So destroyed.
So they're all talking about like, well, what are we going to do when he comes back? And
Great. Awesome. John, last month when it came, it added shiny things to its list of demands, demanding valuables, demanding that the villagers turn over valuables for fear of incurring its wrath even more. So what sorts of valuables, generally speaking, did the village produce to deliver?
I've got it. Although the meager science available to our village at the time wouldn't know the answer to this, but like in the long, like millions of years ago, there were volcanoes that are long since extinct, and scattered around you can still find these pieces of like green obsidian.
Whoa.
And we kind of cleave it into shapes for different bits of jewelry or ornamental tchotchkes or whatever. And the size is definitely denotes its importance and its value.
So it's not so far as a currency, but there's a fair number, like there's a fair amount of it around. You guys don't use it. I mean, maybe you barter with it, but it's not like. I assume that the high court has like some kind of currency that they kind of are trying to like get people.
Yeah, point of the realm that they're trying to hoist on us with the the symbol of the high court slammed into it or whatever. But this is more of like a. I don't even know if we originally used this for barter. I think we use this. Or I mean, you can use anything for barter,
right?
But this wasn't our like original currency before the high court moved in. This was just something that we collected for ornamentation, for tradition, because of its color and the fact that it's found in nature. I think that we find it can, it's part of our like, beliefs in the forest and the spirits and the natural world. And I think that's why, although it's not currently a store of wealth, it like hits us hard that the creature is now asking for these very specific like stuff
Okay.
that we connect to like our natural belief.
Okay, got it.
Because like in our minds, the creature comes and like surely if it wants something valuable, it's going to ask for coins of the realm.
Right, but it wants
Like,
the thing that really matters to you guys.
Is for giving up these like these pieces of jewelry and doodads.
Okay. And somehow the creature knew that you had that stuff. Like he saw it on somebody. Like, what is that? Bring me more. Great. Okay. So,
Is an asshole.
Donna, yesterday, it demanded more of this green obsidian, but there was nothing more to give, or no villager was willing to give. Maybe some people were still holding on to some, but nobody was willing to give it up. But basically the beast was refused, or people threw up their hands and said, like, we have nothing to get. Perhaps I'm gonna say when the thing comes, the magistrate just like hides in his house, and I want to know if Yarko, the constable, goes out and treats with this thing, or does Yarko also just hang back and let other people deal?
Yarko is responsible.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that, he would, if no one else is gonna speak to the thing, I guess Yarko would take that up.
Okay, so Yarko has to tell it no, or maybe try to like, but what about this, or what about that? And the thing is,
yeah.
More of the green glass. And I think, so when the thing returns, I don't think it goes back to the marketplace. I think when it comes now, it comes basically to the outskirts of town somewhere. Where do you think it shows up? I guess that begs the question, in what, and I'm going to ask the trapper this actually, in what direction is its cave? When it goes away, you guys have never been to its cave, but when it goes away, where does it head? What direction does it head?
It heads south.
Okay.
So it's in the, I guess it's in the forest, right? And then
It could be, there can be forest off the south of the map. It doesn't have to be in a forest though. It can be, but south is great. We'll just say it's south. So I'm going to say when it returns, after that first kind of destruction of the marketplace, when it comes back, it comes to the south edge, maybe the bottom of the hill. And poor old Yarko has to go down there, and Yarko has to deliver. So when it comes, it brings, the first time it came, it took a wagon. And when it comes, actually more of a cart, pretty good sized cart, that it itself kind of drags along. And so when it comes back, it always brings the cart, and you guys have to load it up. So it shows up on the same, roughly, it's not always the same day of the month, but roughly around the same sort of time. Sometimes 3 weeks go by, sometimes 4 weeks go by. That's the worst part, is that whoever's on watch, it's like everybody has like a feeling of dread in their hearts when they know that it's coming. It shows up at the bottom of the hill, and Yarko goes and talks to it, and other villagers have to haul stuff out there to put in the cart. So the last time it came, which was yesterday, it shows up at the southern edge of the village, demands more of the glass, of the green obsidian, and Yarko has to tell it there's none. And with Yarko are other villagers who have come to bring stuff down, supplies, the usual stuff, like a barrel of or several casks of the veli, and there's a I think every time it shows up, you have to give it 2 live goats. So they're down there, and they're totally, of course, they freak out and panic. But there's some trick that the goat herds have of making the goats kind of go to sleep. They get put in the cart along with everything else. So there's some people down there, and I'm curious. So I know Yarko's there. Are any of the other villagers that you guys have rolled up? Would it make sense for any of them to be there? Like, is Muirin, the elf wanderer?
Well, I think that the trapper definitely helps out.
Okay.
Or help.
Great. So Esais is there. Okay. And then Jan, would Kosti or Paiviki be there?
I think Paiviki is very curious. She likes to be sort of the center of everyone's attention, and she's kind of boastful, and she's curious about this creature, and you know, she's kind of resentful because you know, she used to be the talk of the town and be able to like get everybody, you know, talking about how cool she was, or you know what she's been up to, you know. But now that this creature has come, nobody really wants to know what she's doing, and you know they're much more concerned about their safety. So she's kind of secretly mad at this creature for taking away everyone's attention.
And is Paiviki, is that attention imagined, or do people take great interest in Paiviki?
She likes to think so. I mean, I think that they do. She's kind of a what do you call it? Like, she likes to chit chat with folks in town, and she's pretty self-centered, and a little bit outspoken and kind of bold and brash, and that kind of thing.
Do people know how she got her scars?
Well, she tells stories about going into the woods to haul back some trees and getting attacked by a creature in the woods. And so she's always showing off her scars. Here's a picture.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah. She's always showing off her scars and being like, yeah, telling the story how she fought it off.
Wait, will you hold that up again? I want to try a feature here. Let's see if I can make that. If I spotlight that, does that do anything? Okay. It didn't appear to do anything. Oh, that's good though. That's a good shot. Great. Thank you. Great. Okay, so on this day, the three of you, Esais, Yarko, and Paiviki, are down there, and Yarko has to tell the beast that they don't have any more. And the beast. So what does Yarko kind of like try to offer as a substitute?
We've been giving this thing casks of belly, and we've brought out some of the red cap.
Okay.
And we've also brought out coin of the realm, thinking that the creature wanted something shiny.
Oh, okay, great.
You know, maybe, you know, I don't think this beast to be terribly intelligent, and maybe one shiny thing can substitute in its foul mind for another.
Okay. What is Yarko's intelligence?
Yarko is at 11.
11, okay. And what is Esais' intelligence?
9.
And Paiviki?
16.
Okay,
Nice.
we have a winner. So, Yarko, was Yarko prepared to pull out the red cap, or does he want people to run and get it? Like once the beast gets angry,
Yarko brought the red cap.
he brought it. He was prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Paiviki, you stopped the as the red cap was being at some point during the kind of let's say the red cap was gathered into a crate, right? Let's say a dozen bottles of the good stuff was gathered into a crate. At some point, you either alone or with assistance went in there and put poison in all of the red cap bottles. And I think probably motivated by the fact that this beast is getting all the attention, right? And it would be good to get rid of it.
Yeah.
What kind of poison did you put in there? It's and what's the expected effect that this poison will have?
It's a slow-acting poison that makes you really sleepy, and in large enough quantities will kill you.
Okay.
With the hope that the creature will drink itself to death.
Okay. And what is it derived from? Where does the poison come from?
It's an herb that grows in the forest. No, actually, it's a mushroom that grows in the forest.
Great.
And if you know how to prepare it properly, you can eat it in small doses. But if you don't, and you eat too much, it'll make you sort of like drugged and sleepy and then die.
Okay. Great. And did you let anybody in on this plan, or is it done totally in secret?
Well, no, I think I didn't let anybody in on it because, well, let's see. I think, well, what about I conspired with Mirren and was telling Mirren how pissed I was that this creature is taking everybody's attention, and then Mirren suggested that they knew about this mushroom that grows in the forest, and so I kind of hatched this plan. Does that sound good, Donna?
Yeah. Would Mirren be done with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So some elf wisdom, some elf knowledge of the woods of this particular mushroom is deployed. Great. Does Mirren participate in the doctoring of the bottles, or do you leave that up to Paiviki?
Yeah, I do. I of course offer to help with that.
Okay. Great. So you guys have managed to do that. The crate of bottles is delivered, but there's no green glass. John, when the coins are delivered, the silver coins are delivered, what form are they in? Are they in a bag or some other kind of container?
Well, it depends if it's just like gathered up from the villagers, then they're just in bags.
Okay.
But if they were like delivered like from the treasury, I don't think the capital would send us money, but I think like they're transported almost like Pringles or like Chips Ahoy, like in wrapped tubes.
Oh, cool. A cylinder of some kind. Great.
Yeah. So no, they're just bags.
Okay. So, and there's not a whole lot. You guys are a small village, and it was basically what you could get people to contribute. So you hand over the coins. What is this? And doesn't seem happy. Where is the green glass? And then you produce the crate of red cap, and its eyes kind of light up, and it kind of clumsily with its big paws. Donna, did you say it has claws? It has claws, right?
I actually didn't mention the claws.
Yeah. What is it? What are its paws or its hands? Does it have like human-like hands or?
They're more like claws, like mammal, large mammal.
Okay. So when it grabs the, you've come close to this thing before, Yarko, but when it grabs the crate, it's like its big hand clack, the kind of slightly curved claws on the end of that like hit the crate, and you kind of take a step back, and it kind of turns and places it in the cart next to the two goats, which have woken up, but their legs are all bound, so they can't go anywhere. And that is not enough. And then it lashes out, knocks down you, actually, Yarko. It knocks down Yarko. Yarko goes flying back.
You beast.
And then it moves and it grabs two villagers that are there and basically like picks them up under its arms. And then it stalks back to the cart and like throws them into the cart. And they're like just totally paralyzed in shock. And from its movements, and it's very clear that if they do anything at all, it's gonna kill them. And one of the scariest thing about the beast is that when you're on lookout or somebody's up on the hill looking to the south, watching to see when the beast comes, when the beast approaches across the terrain, that landscape, that hilly terrain, on all fours, it moves at like a rapid, slithery pace, like faster than you think it should be able to move.
Like crocodile speed?
Yeah. So it hurls the two villagers into the cart and takes up the, let's see, when it's got the cart. Yeah, I guess it has like a harness that like it that hooks around the front of its chest, so it gets down in front of the cart and then just kind of like alligators away with the cart bumping up and down behind it, and the goats and everything. Oh my God, is that the beast?
Well, it could be. I was just drawing the harness from the wagon.
Wait,
I don't know if that's what you pictured in your mind, Donna.
Oh,
there we go.
that's awesome.
Oh,
He's so cute, though. I like him.
It might be too cute.
Oh my God.
I love his length.
That is such a wonderful interpretation.
It's so cute.
That is great. Yeah, so then it sort of disappears into the south. And I guess I will ask, well, Yarko's the constable. Yarko, you were kind of close to one of those two people that was taken. What do you think your relationship was with them?
I think one of them was like the master brewer of Red Cap.
Aww.
Like we brought him to like vouch for the quality of the goods. Again, I think this to be an idiot, a real not smart beast. And so we were like, okay, well, like if he questions us, like you can come and you can talk to him.
Oh my God! So he just got taken. Great. Sorry, was the master brewer male or female or?
I rolled a 2.
That is female. Great. We'll give them a name, and then Paiviki, you were there because you really wanted to see the thing take off the. Who was the other villager that was taken? And so the other villager had some significance to you, Paiviki.
Let's see. Well, I was thinking that, let's see. Oh, well, you've got constable, hunter, trapper. I mean, I was kind of imagining that most people in town had like, that were all like relatives of one another.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, one way or the other. I was thinking that maybe the other one that got captured was actually Lomo, Kosti's wife.
Kosti's wife.
Oh no.
Oh.
And I think she's one of the village elders, you know, who's always like passing on the traditions and giving people, you know, herbs when they're sick and stuff.
Okay. Great. Well, I think after that happens is the moment, and I apologize for telling you what your characters do. This won't happen again. This is just the setup for everything. But I think what makes sense at this point to set the stage is that Paiviki tells Yarko that the red cap has poison in it. The implication being that if we pursue the creature, if we follow the tracks and go to where it is, that with any luck it will drink this stuff and you know, die or be approachable.
Yeah.
Be incapacitated enough to deal with.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap that up. This was just sort of getting it all established and set up, and our party of 6 brave volunteers will set out in search of the beast the next time we get together.
Woo.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect setup.
I guess we all volunteered.
kind of to make it work, everybody's got to volunteer. You roll up a character, character's got to see some action.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, what are the occupations again? Like constable and hunter for me makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and Kosti's wife is gone, so that makes sense. Kosti's got to go.
Yeah.
Trapper and wanderer makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the elf participated in the poisoning, so I mean, seems like Moraine would want to. I mean, I feel like they all make a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Esais is selfless. The trapper is selfless, so he's going to want to participate. The hunter is curious.
Yeah.
Maybe this beast could be hunted.
And then who's your other character, Jan, besides the cobbler? Carpenter.
Paiviki, the
Paiviki, the carpenter, she's the one who's kind of like kind of brash and bold and selfish.
Yeah, and she hates the beast.
She hates him because he's taken all of the town's attention away from her. So, and she's very smart too and charismatic. So, you know.
And if I'm not mistaken, she's covetous.
She's covetous.
And that beast has hoarded a lot of
stuff, but also taken, I think, her attention away from, or people's attention away from her. So she wants that back.
He's covetous of the attention. Yeah.
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 I mean, it's all sort of subconscious. She won't admit it really, but yeah, she likes to be the talk of the town.
Great. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jason.
So nice.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.